Hello, everyone. I didn't even know I was going to talk about this thing, but it's something that I see it a lot, and I just shake my head and I feel pain for Nigeria. What I'm going to say might sound controversial to some people, but as you know me, if it's inside me, I will say it out. Worst case scenario, whatever will happen, it will happen. Heaven will fall. Yeah, at least I have peace in my inside. The day that I find myself in a situation whereby I'm not at peace in my inside, kata kata go bust. I just finished watching a video where there's this young boy who was picking scraps, and some of these skit makers approach content creators approach him. There are different kind of content creation. There are some who help people out, approach him. Why is he doing this thing? How much does he? And he was like 1,000, 2,000, sometimes 1,000. And he asked him, what is it, why was he doing that he needed to buy this cutter that they use tiling, for tiling. That was what he was trying to save money for. And this content creator took him, or should I call him influencer? I hope creator is not a bad word. I see some people use it as well. Even me, I'm a content creator, so because I talk about things and I put them out. And so he took him first of all to have a haircut. Then he went to buy clothing for him. Then he took him out to eat, and uh, and then he surprised him. He bought the cut, and you could see literally how overjoyed the boy was. He was rolling on the floor. He couldn't help himself. And then he bought phone for the boy. He gave him 50,000. The boy had said that he didn't have money to do freedom, and then he said he was going to call his boss. Help him. Literally, when you see that one person who just changes your life in every way, that is what has happened to that particular young man. And then the young man has said, please, would you like to can you meet my mom? Of course, something of joy has happened to you. And even though I've never in that situation that boy was in, but I was in a situation that was almost similar to that what that boy. I know what it is to have nothing. When you will stay a whole day without food to eat, your parents are looking, they can't feed their children, and a whole day with your siblings, nothing. So life can be extremely tough. And right now, life is tough in Nigeria. People are going through so much. That's why when you see all of these politicians doing what they're doing, it's really, when I get angry from that point, because I live with boys like that. We all live together, struggling and fighting because there was scarcity, there wasn't anything. And when he went home, his mom knelt down for this, content creator who is very young boy, and he was trying to tell him, "Mama, get up, Mama, get up." He didn't get up, and then the boy also went down and knelt down, also, and she was praying for this young man. You could see her praying from the depth of her soul, because like someone said, oh, how long it would have taken him to save that money. And I'm like, he might never have saved that money, because as I can see, that boy, he probably is the first son with all the weight on his head. Only few people get to escape. Only few, very minute numbers that get to escape. He probably will be doing that all the time. Before, out of that money he makes, he has to feed. Probably needs to take some home for them to feed. One thing or the other will come out. You find out that he might end up with a wasted life. So that thing, getting those equipment is everything. But then this is where the controversy I talked about is not about this story. This story is heartbreaking. It's the kind of story you hear, you're like, oh my goodness. But this is where it's not the way it is. A lot of things like this are happening. You are seeing a lot of, content creators are looking for people that they will do good in their life. But it comes with a catch. We are actually destroying our country without knowing. You see, this thing you see here, it's like gambling. Many people gamble. They see one person, two people that have won big, and they spend all their lives gambling. Some people are waiting. All they do is that they pray, they do nothing. Remember that faith without works is dead. And so they feel that it will soon be their turn. That it will soon be my turn, it will soon be my turn. It just carries people to the end where they now have nothing. Everybody waiting for opportunity. Oh, maybe I'm the one that the next camera will be in my face. First of all, there are not enough content creators to take care of everybody. There are not enough rich people in Nigeria to take care of everybody. The Dangotes of this world are not enough to take care of, no matter how people want to say, look at it from. That is why it's the responsibility of government to create a enable environment for people to thrive and have money that they will use to take care of themselves. So this whole thing, in a way of trying to do good, it's also doing a lot of bad, where people just sit down and they're waiting for that moment where it's going to happen to them, where people see their wealth being stolen, and instead of them to do anything about it, they just feel that, oh, their own moment will come and they will get it. No, they don't want to demand for good governance. It's almost as if it's almost a cause for somebody to be an activist, or they said, no, I'm not an activist, I'm not going to demand for this. You're watching politicians spending our monies away, watching all of that. People are waiting for it to be their turn. How many people are we going to pick by the streets? We help them, clean them up. How many for them to really make a difference that is now where everybody has? There is something I always say to people. Sometimes a friend in need is not always a friend indeed. Because there are friends who want you to perpetually be down. There are people who are helping in the way. I'm no longer talking about this young boy. I'm just talking in generality. This young man who has done this awesome job for this particular young man. I'm talking in generality. There are people who are helping you, but they forever want you to be down. They want the status quo to remain, because that's the only way they can be heroes. The place we get to when everybody is good is when nobody no longer need our help. There is a kind of poverty that some countries, what they call poverty, it's actually what we call good living here. I remember during the COVID-19, and they were talking about, oh, poor people's children, are being disadvantaged, children from the poor, they were talking about that from the US. And you're seeing the houses of children of the poor. They had iPads, they had laptops, maybe one or two laptops for a lot of them. Not that everybody had the latest, but they had iPads. They could do so many things. They lived in a house where they could eat food. Their tummy was filled. And we're like, these are the things that are considered almost middle class here in Nigeria. My brothers and sisters, I know a lot of us have that Messiah syndrome, savior mentality. But the thing is that how many are we going to save? God has given us everything that we need for us to have a lot of people being taken care of. They can take care of themselves. All they need is an enabling environment. Imagine that young man, if he was able to get to finish his school, maybe secondary school, get to go to where they actually learn trade, as he's learning, like apprenticeship, he's being paid, he's learning. He wouldn't be in this situation. There are countries, for example, in England, they do apprenticeship. So you don't even have to pay school fees into the school. You're learning, you're being paid while you're getting that knowledge. And he comes out, he has a job. He wouldn't need to be in this situation that somebody has to rescue him. Can we please try to get Nigeria to that place? And then we can then help them in another form, not in this form. My sisters and brothers, I'm saying this thing, and it's like almost like it's gambling that we're doing. When people are addicted to gambling, they think they are the next ones that are going to get that big win. That is what this is also. People just sit down, don't try to fight for their country or ask for better. They just feel that they'll be the next ones for this kind of, they call it grace, to come and meet them. And then when they get it, they've escaped. Every other thing can go on. I don't have anything more to say. Thank you for watching.